Hello, it's just about 10 o'clock. My name's Ashley Johnson. I'm the Business and Outreach Librarian at the Vernon Area Library, and today we're going to look at reference solutions as a tool for job seeking and industry research. This program is part of an ongoing partnership series with local libraries in Lake and Cook counties. So all the programs and resources offered as part of the Career Collab will be in the realm of career development and job seeking. So if programs of that caliber interest you, please visit our group's website at careercollab.org, and you can learn about all the other programs that we have on this as part of this ongoing series, and you can register for them all depending, no matter what library you are a member of. So I am recording this program, so if you like what you hear and you'd like to re-listen, you can visit the library's YouTube page, or I will also share a link once we're all done here today or tomorrow, and you can forward it off to your friends or colleagues who you think might be interested in the information, or schedule it to be so you can rewatch it again. So with that, we're going to jump right in. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go to the library's website. So just hold on one second. All right. So to gain access to reference solutions, if you're a Vernon Area Library card holder, you will go to the Vernon Area Library website, which is vapld.info. If you're not, it's important to go to your home library's website, because just like many of our other resources, all access is behind an e-proxy. So you'll need to go to your library's website. Go for the Vernon Area card holders, you'd visit Online Research and Learning tab at the top. And I like to just click on R for Reference Solutions and click this. So from home, it will give you a prompt to put your library card number in. I already did that this morning in prep for today. So it's not asking me to do that, but once you get to that point on your own, you can put your whole library card number in, and it will give you access to this. So this is the home page. I don't know if any of you are familiar with reference solutions. They decided that the time of the coronavirus is a great time to change all branding and name of their company. They used to be Info Group. Now Info Group is Data Axle, and Reference Solutions, the tool that we're looking at here today, used to be Reference USA. So if at any point I mix the two up and say Reference USA instead of Reference Solutions, that's why. It's a recent change. And I don't know if you can hear in my voice, I have a little bit of congestion. I hope it's just a regular run-of-the-mill cold, but we'll find out today at some point. So from this front page, there's a lot going on here. So I'll explain a little bit of that to you. There's an explanation off to the side how they get the information. Reference Solutions reaches out to business owners to verify information at least every 6 months. Down a little farther, I've learned that there's an app now, which is kind of helpful. I haven't spent a lot of time playing around with it, but I might at some point. And even farther down is a new feature, which is personal accounts. So if you're using this a lot for various things, I know Reference Solutions is one of the library's more popular tools, you might consider creating an account. And what that allows you to do is save searches, frequently looked into searches, to be able to find the information that you're needing, just save those queries. But the real deal is in this box right here. In this box, there are a collection. These are all individual databases. So they all kind of look the same, but the information that it gives you is very different. So since this is a jobs program, I thought we'd start out with the easiest, the most low-hanging fruit would be the US Jobs and Internships database. So I'm going to just click on search here. And you can see this first screen it has two tabs, the quick search and the advanced search. So if you are looking for a job, let's just say data analyst, and it kind of completes your words for you if you'd like. Well, let's say Chicago, and just view the results. This is a list of 110 jobs that come up that meet that, meet your search requirements. This is essentially, sorry, my cat's tail. This is essentially a Indeed skin. So Reference Solutions Data Axle has partnered with Indeed to offer a skin to the basic website of Indeed, which some might say, why not just use Indeed? It's a great question. It's really up to you and where you feel most comfortable. This is kind of cool because you can export them or email them to yourself and then go back and look. I think you can probably do the same thing with an Indeed account. But either way, this is a partnership that they have. Excuse me. Excuse me. If you click on one of the records, it takes you right out to Indeed. So it really is just a skin to Indeed. Pretty simple. So we'll go back a little bit. I'm going to actually go all the way back out and look at some of the other databases that we have here. Probably the most robust database and how they kind of got their start is this US businesses database. They have 62 million businesses and they hold records for closed businesses as well. So if you know that you are looking for a specific company, you just need research contact information, you can search here. But where the magic kind of happens is under the advanced search tab. What you do is here, you will, to make targeted lists, all you have to do is put in a keyword search. And let's say you're looking for you're a dental hygienist and you're looking for a job in a dentist's office and you need a list of dental offices in a range from your home to apply to. You are going to reach out to them all individually. So you're essentially just searching dentists. So I'm going to just put that in there. Let's say dentist. And if you can see, the keyword search has SIC codes, standard industry codes. The government requires that all companies have an assigned SIC code as well as an NAICS code. Sorry. So let's put that in again, dentist. All right, so let's update our account. Oh, first, once you put in your code, if you see one that is specific what you're looking for. So let's say, these all look kind of good. General dentistry, or I guess maybe you have a specialization. Let's just go with general dentistry and update the count here. And this says that there's 155, almost 156,000 records in North America for dental offices, general dentistry dentists. If you go over to the geography tab here on the left, and click on radius. I like radius for this use because you can tell it. So let's say from Buffalo Grove, 60018. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that the radius box appears. You'll type in your zip code. You can put, I guess, your whole address, like your home address if you wanted to. I just use the zip code. And then from the 60089 area code, I'd like to travel only, let's say, 5 miles from home, and then update that again. So there are 167 dental offices, general dentist offices within 5 miles of the 6089 area code, which is, I think, a pretty good number. If you're a dental hygienist and or maybe even a dentist that's looking for a new office to reach out to potentially become a partner, or however that works, 167 records is more than enough for you to try. So if you view the results, it gives you this beautiful list. You can see, you can kind of click on the blue. We have 7 pages, so that's good. You can click on the blue bar at the top to sort by that field. So if you want them alphabetically organized, you can click on that. Or if you want to see them by city, you can click on that. Something that I like to do is, if you click on charts, it will kind of, what we were just looking at, organize them by city. So yes, we gave it the radius from Buffalo Grove. So there are the most in Buffalo Grove, which makes sense. And as you can see here, they're all hyperlinked. So the number there means there are 58 records that are situated in Buffalo Grove, in Arlington Heights, and Palatine. So perhaps for your own organizational uses, you want to create lists that are broken up by village or town. So let's click on Arlington Heights, and it goes back to the master list there. You have 2 pages, and you can select at the top here. So it says selected 25 records, and advance your page over a little bit and select another page of records. And the max for this, if you're trying to export records to an Excel file or a Google Sheet, however you want to do it, is 250. So you have more than enough room here to do that. So, and then to export that, you just click download. And I like to leave it as comma delimited, and that allows you to open it in any kind of data Excel sort of file. So like I said, Google Sheets, or if you're using a Mac, you can use Pages. Yeah, but down here, you can select your level of detail. For the job seeking kind of use, I think that it's probably a good idea to click on the custom and just change some of the records there. So you might, this actually isn't that bad. It defaults to these 8 fields, which I think are pretty good. If it's the summary, it's 17 additional fields that have things like credit score and fax number, all kinds of information that you might not necessarily need. But here I don't see phone number listed actually, so we might want to find the phone number combined. So do you see here it says phone number, area code, phone number, just phone number. So it would have the area code in one cell and then the phone number in another. But if you click this, then it puts them both together, which is helpful. And then you would just download the record, and it would open up it as an Excel file or a CSV. I can't remember what the acronym is. So that is how to use the charts and a summary. You can also click into each of these and see a little bit more information about whatever record you're looking at. Some of them are more robust than others. You can see that there are some, there's this panel on the left that you can see all of it will just kind of jump down the page a little bit if you scroll. This is, like I said, if there was a job listed on Indeed, it's interfiled there, so you'd be able to see all open positions at any particular business. I'm sure if you're looking at something like Walgreens or Jewel, that is filled up, that's a little bit more utilized there, but maybe not so much with small businesses that might not use Indeed. You can see information about the company and the space that they fill. So you can see how big their offices are, if they have additional locations, what their credit rating is. I've learned over the years that the credit rating and anything having to do with financial information with Reference USA is proprietary. So they kind of have these loose estimates on how they arrive at these numbers. So take it with a grain of salt. And we're going to look at another example in a little while that maybe uses this information a little bit more robustly. But you can see a competitors report. So this is a list of all the other dental offices in the area. So it's another good way to identify other places to apply. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second and pause to see if there's any questions. If you have questions, please use the chat feature or the Q&A. Somebody's asking, can you search for remote positions? Not on this tool because Reference USA is, in its sort of essence, a market research tool. It's intended for business to business, business owners who are looking to reach out to other businesses to offer their goods and services, or business to consumer businesses that are wanting to reach out to consumers to sell their goods and services and create lists for market mailers. So, in the past, I've helped patrons who have, for an example, like a corporate cleaning companies wanting to identify particular businesses to reach out to for their business. So the example that I have is a company in the area does corporate cleaning, and they were looking to get into large gym and like warehouse type cleaning. So I was able to give them a list of all the gyms in the Chicagoland area that were over, between 10 and 15,000 square feet, and their contact information for them to be able to send them, just promotions or advertise to them directly, which includes email or addresses, so they could send them direct mail. So long story short, no, because we're using Reference Solutions as, this is a roundabout way, sort of an industry research way of identifying companies that you might want to work for. But I know other resources for job seeking, like Indeed, or I know there's a lot of kind of proprietary, industry specific job seeking tools that will allow you to search only for remote positions. So there's that. Are there any other questions so far? I'm gonna move forward. Feel free to use the chat or the Q&A feature. While I'm in presentation mode, I can't see if there's any questions. So, but I'll be sure to pause and come back as often as I can when it's makes sense to answer any questions. So go ahead and use that if you need to. All right, I'm going to go back to my screen sharing. And I'm gonna hide the control. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna go up here and do a new search. There we go. Okay, so we'll do another one. Advertising. Major industry group is kind of the key. Oh no, I'm sorry. Keyword search is sort of the key here. If you know what type of business you're looking for, that's the best way to start. So it gets a little trickier when it's, advertising, which might not be, any particular company might have its own advertising person in there, but they might not be a advertising firm. So that is harder. But we're gonna see what comes up. Yeah, advertising agencies. So advertising direct mail, which is essentially what we're doing here. I wouldn't be surprised if you worked in advertising and direct mail, you use a similar product, if not another more in-depth tool that Data Axle provides. Let's see. I think that's probably good. Let's update our count here. So yeah, there's 18,000 or so businesses in the country that identify as advertising agencies and counselors. And then again, we'll just go over to the left and click on radius. And you see radius has been added below. Zip code. I'm going to do Lincolnshire this time. And let's do 20 miles. 148 records. These are the numbers that I like to see. I think when you're in the, in the thousands, it's harder. It's important to know that with Reference USA, I'm pretty sure most public libraries have a cap on how many records you can export in a single time. So anything under 250 is you can export all 148 of these records in one kind of click of the download button. If it's over 250, you'd have to download them in batches of 250. So if you had, 500, you'd have to select and export those lists twice. So let's view our results here. So these are all advertising firms within 20 miles of Lincolnshire. And you can see here it's 6 pages. I'm going to look at a couple more of these things up on top. If you go to, perhaps summary, you can see there's a bunch of things that you can toggle around in here. If you click employee size and view results, much like when we were looking at the charts feature, it allows you to kind of parse out those, the results in, in employee size. So if you have a history of working in advertising firms and you do best in a firm that is, medium size or even small or large, this kind of cuts out the time that you need to do the research to know how big any particular company is. It seems like the majority of them are between 1 and 4. I'm not super familiar. I don't know if maybe advertising is a one-person job or if maybe there's a lot of contracting going on. But the majority of the records are between 1 and 4 employee sizes. The employee size is between 1 and 4. 20 to 50, if you click on it, it will open up the records. So all of these here are businesses that have between, oh gosh, I forgot now, 11 to 20 employees. So you can select those and download them to be able to call, and right away that this is the size of a firm that you do the best in. If that's not necessarily something that's relevant to you, you don't have to do any of that at all. Oh gosh, what have I done here? I'm going to have to go back to results. Okay, so here are all of our records again. You can, I think maybe, let's click into one of these. I think advertising might be one of those records that has more robust reporting. Doesn't look too much different than the, oh, here we go. This is a cool thing. The business expenditures, this is something relevant to pay attention to. You know, even if you're not the advertising person, but say you're a bookkeeper and you tend to do great, or your past experience has been bookkeeping in a marketing firm, you can go to each of these fields, these records, and see how much money any one particular business is putting into things like accounting. So, you know, this is a medium-sized firm and they're spending $5,000 to $10,000 a year in accounting. Maybe that isn't enough for you, so you can move on to the next one. This will change from business to business. Alternatively, you know, behavioral and benefits, they might be contracting this out, so they're putting $500,000 to $1 million in payroll and benefits. You know, paying people that much money a year versus you know, not paying for payroll services. Telecommunications, how much money they're paying into those type things. So these are all just relevant, it's relevant information that you might want to consider before you're applying to a particular firm. So you can see growth. You can see that they downsized right at that time, that it, you know, everybody kind of downsized right at that point, but they haven't seen any particular growth since then. So that might be something to consider, or, you know, even just good to know. It's all good for you to prepare, even if you get like an interview or something. These are great spaces to ask questions about. And again, my favorite is the competitors report. If you open that up a little bit, you can see, you know, who are they direct competitors with, and then it might be worth your while to research those folks. If you're not applying to those, you know, figuring out what you know, what makes Maxwell Group different or similar to Patterson advertising reports. It's all preparation for an interview, as well as perhaps giving you more spaces to send your information, your resume off to these different companies, or even just to go to their websites directly to see if they have any posted jobs. So let's go back. That was summary when we were talking about the group size. Another cool one is heat map. Heat map is interesting. I'm not sure about for advertising, but when you think about, I mean, even the Chicagoland area has a great regional specialty in biomedical. So, you know, you think about Abbott and AbbVie, and even Walgreens having a headquarters here. That is something that is very specific and unique to the Chicagoland area. Less, I guess, nation specific are things like, you know, wedding dress stores. I know there's a place in Norridge where it's kind of like wedding dress row. All of these businesses tend to kind of put up shop right next to one another to give themselves some friendly competition, or, you know, businesses tend to sit in the same spaces. This seems to be quite across the board. There's a lot of advertising agencies. We gave ourselves a radius of, what was it, 20 miles outside of Lincolnshire. So as you can imagine, it kind of spreads out a little bit the more north and west that you go, and the closer to the city, it's more dense. That's just sort of reflective of population. But if you were looking at something more like biomedical, as my example is, you might see that, all of that is happening right in here and way less out here. So that's just good to know as far as, if you're where you're choosing to live, say you're, actually leaving a job on another part of the country and you need to know where to move to get your job in whatever your specialty is. This will give you an idea as far as, where you should look to live and in perspective to your house, in relation to your house. So I like the heat map version. Again, you can click on each of these and it will open up to any particular record there. So that's how you explore the heat map feature. I know that folks have asked in the past, how often is this information updated? Reference USA says that they go through and verify records at least every 6 months, if not more often. If we, let's go back to our revise or search. This first box here that is kind of default, all of the searching that we've done was for verified businesses. If you click this, include unverified businesses, did you see how this jumped? It more than doubled. So that means that Reference Solutions, Data Axle has an inkling that a business exists or did exist in that space. If you're looking for more records, or that something exists and it's not showing up in your search, it might be unverified. So you can click that to basically mostly double all of your records, but your chances of kind of striking out with any particular, if you reach out or if you're sending a paper copy of your resume out at all, you might get a lot more return to sender with the unverified business checked versus just the verified business. So that's important to remember as well. Okay. There's lots of other, searches off to the left here. I know we focused a lot on just the keyword and the geography. I think in the application of job seeking, it's really kind of the best option to kind of just keep it simple. But if say you're a high-level executive and you have very specific business that you're looking for, very specific industry that you're looking for, you might not even use geography. You might only use major industry group through the SIC codes and, sales volume. You might use sales volume, you might use headquarters or, if they're a Fortune 1000 company, how long they've been in business. These are all things that you might already understand as requirements that you know that you do the best when the company that you're working for has all of these things. So you can do that and just omit geography altogether, and then you'd get a list that reflects exactly what you need to be able to apply with. I'm going to stop sharing here and check my Q&A. Sure. There's a question on how to get to the database. So yeah, I mentioned that in the beginning. If you are a Vernon Area Library card holder, you just go to the Vernon Area Library website, vapld.info. If your home library is one of our partners, the Career Collab partners, you want to visit the library that you hold your library card with, because digital or remote access is contingent on your membership to any one specific library that subscribes to this tool. So that being said, not every library subscribes to this. If you find that your home library, maybe you're not a member of the Indian Trails or the Northbrook Public Libraries or the Vernon Area Library, but you want to be able to run a report, I'd be happy to help you run any kind of report. You just need to reach out to me directly, and my email is ajohnson@vapld.info, and I'd be happy to run that for you and send it out. But you'd have to have your library card. Your library would have to subscribe for you to be able to do it on your own. There's another question on, can you search for a particular company? Yes, absolutely. Let me try and share screen again. So reference solutions is a lot of things. From the front page, it's a lot of things, and one of the things that it is a white pages. You can do that very simply if you wanted to just look up a business. You can do that from the business database, which is where we've been working. We've been working from the business database. If you click search and you just search in here, let's think of an example. I don't know. Do we have an example? Let's say Abbott. I think, is it double T? Oh, that's okay. That's a little, let's try in Illinois. And maybe I say Abbott Labs. Okay, yeah. So they have a lot of different, I don't even know if they're different businesses or how they do, maybe it's offices, maybe it's sort of sectors. There's a lot of records for them, but you can search that way. You can see, let's do Abbott Park, and let's do this first one. And then it'll give you kind of the information that we were talking about. See here, they have a bunch of their jobs listed, and if you click more jobs, it sends you right out to Indeed. Whoops, hold on. I'm gonna just X out of that. You can see all of their different SIC codes here. So maybe that's another reason that there's so many records are showing up for Abbott Labs. Maybe some of them are just this, or maybe it's, you know, the accounting or all the different things that they do. They're a large company. They have a big description. You can see their corporate sales volume, how many employees they have, how many employees are in that location, their hours are, who their sort of management tree is. And this is kind of a good way to do some networking, roundabout networking. If you, I know in my personal past, if you're looking to see if you know anybody at a particular organization, you can just start putting these names into LinkedIn and seeing if you have any direct connections, and ask for a warm introduction to any of these people, just to get an idea of what it's like to work at any particular place. How up to date this is, I'm not sure. I'm sure these things change, and like I said, every 6 months they're updating. So what that rotation looks like is unknown to me. They have quite the tree here. You can see their stock information. You can see their business expenditures. How much money are they putting into accounting? You know, so this is another thing. If you know that you are an accountant that does well in bioengineering or biomedical, you might want to look into being an accountant for a company that doesn't necessarily identify as an accounting firm. You can see their annual reports. It links out to their annual reports there as a publicly traded company. And then again, the competitors report, which I think, like I was sort of saying, that this is a regional specialization. So you can see all of these companies that are all in Lake County as a great resource to identify other businesses that you might also be interested in applying to from their competitors report. Nearby businesses, let's see. So this was in Abbott Park, and it looks like they have some other, if the business isn't particularly important to you, but it's the location that is, you can use nearby businesses to identify who those companies are. Maybe this is their snack, their snack bar inside Abbott Park. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Very good. That is a lot of information. And like I said, I'm happy to always practice or run example reports for you. If you have any questions, I could run 1 or 2 right now. If anybody has anything on the top of their mind that they'd like to see done, you can type that in the chat or the Q&A and I can do that too. Otherwise, please feel free to reach out to me directly. My name is Ashley Johnson and my email is ajohnson@vapld.info. We're gonna end this actually kind of early today. It's only 10:40, but I think that's more than enough information for you to try and practice. If you run into any walls, feel free to reach out and I'd love to help you. It's kind of it's my favorite resource that we have at the library. It's one of our more popular resources. I feel like there's an application for just about any problem that you have. I know that when I'm on the reference desk, when we're in normal times at the library and I have people asking me, I'm trying to find somebody that I knew in high school. Can you hunt them down for me? There's a consumer side to this tool that allows you to find people. You can find addresses and phone numbers for people just like you would use a white pages. So there's really a lot you can do with the Reference USA database, and I'm always happy to help you figure out how to use it and get really good at it. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the hour, if you are on the job, on the hunt for a job and you're interested in more workforce development type programming, please visit the careercollab.org is our partnership website where we have all of the partnership events listed for this series that we've been doing as part of our we want to support people that are underemployed or unemployed in our area in Lake and Cook counties. So we're always coming up with new programs for you, and this has been recorded and it'll be available for viewing on Vernon Area Library's YouTube page in just a few hours or so. So I didn't have any more chat. It was really nice to show you guys one of my favorite tools, and I hope that you reach out if you have any questions, and have a great day. Happy Monday. Bye-bye.